Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, former Chief of Army Staff General Al-Wali Kazir advocates urgent socio-economic transformation of Nigeria to check worsening insecurity across the country. Ondo Police Command allays fears over purported threats by Boko Haram to attack select targets in the state, says everything is in place to ensure safety of lives and property. Suspected thugs attack Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki's convoy at the country's home of APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole. At Iyamo, Oshomole apologizes over incident. And over 40 Malian soldiers killed in an attack on a military post in the country's northeast region.
On business news tonight, African Development Bank to intensify efforts towards regional integration for a successful Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement.
And on sports news tonight, winners emerge in the third edition of the Lagos Kids Mini Marathon organized by St. Xavier's School, Ikoyi.
The urgent need for governments at the state and federal level to invest heavily in infrastructure and boost socio-economic development takes center stage at the annual lecture of the Barewa Old Boys Association in Abuja today. The keynote speaker, a former Chief of Army Staff, Major General Al-Wali Kazir, maintains that unless Nigeria gives the needed attention to economic development and reduce unemployment, national security will constantly be threatened. He insists that governments must urgently rethink its strategies and back up the current military approach with industrialization.
It's a reunion of some sort. The arrival of the Sultan of Sokoto, former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, and other dignitaries to the venue of the Barewa Old Boys Association annual lecture in Abuja signals the commencement of the event. The theme of the lecture is the imperatives of national security to the Nigerian citizenry, the need for the redefinition of roles and responsibilities. The keynote speaker highlights the reasons why successive governments have continued to grapple with insecurity since independence.
We cannot say that Nigeria is secure when it is economically vulnerable, when a large percentage of her factories or manufacturing outputs have collapsed, when many of our roads are in terribly bad shape, and when there is a very high degree of unemployment, underemployment, unemployability, and so on, when there is a very high degree of corruption, amongst others. As unemployment rises, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. We are sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and the negative results of insecurity are here with us.
He also proffers solutions to Nigeria's security problems.
The insecurity we have in our hands today is a product of a type of economy that is based on raw material dependence, and it was imposed on the third world by the global power relations. National security can only be realized with a very sound economic and technological base of development, authority. Security means development. Security is not military force. Security is development, and without development, there can be no security.
Some dignitaries at the event are, however, concerned about the poor record of implementation of recommendations from public lectures such as this one.
The lectures covered every aspect of our lives as a nation. What have we done with all those lectures given by elder scholars and elder statesmen of repute across the country? Nothing. If you pick your booklet and check from the first lecture in 1986 to date, they have covered everything, including even the emerging system of education that we're all battling today to solve the problems. What have the governments done since these lectures were given? Nothing.
Your lecture has given certain suggestions what we should do, but let me say this. I have always believed that first and foremost, if only each and every one of us in this country love their country and make sure that it is going to be peaceful, then that is the first in a step.
On the sideline of the event, other participants share their views on the rising cases of kidnapping for ransom.
There are two critical issues that have crept in that are making us uncomfortable. The idea of security agencies being complicit in the banditry and the other criminal activity is worrisome. The second one is where you find government officials being kidnapped and ransom paid. Like you see policemen kidnapped and they are released on payment or ransom. It has now gone to judicial officers like high court judges and others. So this is really worrisome.
The security of lives and property is a foremost obligation of any government as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. Many believe that implementing some key recommendations from gatherings such as this one can help the government to develop strategies that will enable it to deliver on this responsibility.
In the meantime, the Director General of the Department of State Services, the DSS, Mr. Magaji Bichi, says that the closure of the borders has to a large extent helped security agencies to keep track of arms smuggling and movement of criminals into the country. The Director General of the DSS, however, appeals to the federal government to sustain the closure until normalcy is restored. He was speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Executive Intelligence Management course of the National Institute for Security Studies in Abuja.
The recent closure of our borders attests to what we intend to achieve. Despite the criticisms, the closure of our borders so far have succeeded in checkmating not only smuggle of goods that are illegally brought into this country, but even firearms, and then checkmating the movement of people that are likely to undermine the security of this country. So we commended all the participants in this operation, and we commended the CNC for approving that initiative.
Staying with security matters, the Ondo State Police Command has allayed the fears of the people of Ondo State on a purported planned attack by Boko Haram insurgents in the state. A letter had surfaced in the social media that the dreaded terrorist group was planning to attack some commercial banks and also kidnap people in the state. But the police says that there is no cause for alarm, as security agencies in the state are on high alert to ensure safety of lives and property.
As far as security is concerned, we want to guarantee our people that there is nothing to be scared about. They shouldn't be scared of anything, whether they had any report anywhere or not. But what we are saying as a command is that there is nothing to create any anxiety or apprehension. The command is fully on top of any situation, and we are ready to battle or face any security challenge that will arise. Right from time, we have always have this strong camaraderie among all the security agencies in the state. We relate together, we exchange ideas, we meet minds every now and again, and we understand that there should be synergy among us to ensure adequate security. That has been going on, and we will continue to maintain that.
There's been an attack on the convoy of the governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, in Iyamo, the country home of the APC national chairman and former governor of the state, Adams Oshomole. The Oba of Lagos, Ruwa Akiolu, and the pro-chancellor of the Edo State University, Iyamo, Professor Ondo, were said to be in the convoy during the attack. Channels Television gathered that the youths of the town allegedly pelted stones at the convoy on their way to Mr. Oshomole's house after sighting the man alleged to have led a previous attack on Mr. Oshomole's home in Benin. Meanwhile, Governor Obaseki has condemned the attack, describing it as shameful. expressed disappointment that things had degenerated to this extent, while noting that the state government will continue to pursue peace in the state.
We can't feel safe in the house of our national chairman. I'm not sure if I went to visit the chairman of PDP, they will attack me the way they did in the house of the national chairman of APC. It's really unfortunate that things have degenerated to this extent, but we'll continue to pursue peace. You know, we cannot afford to lose the gains of the last 3 years, so we'll continue to pursue peace.
But the APC national chairman, in response, blamed the Edo State deputy governor for the attacks, and that the cars destroyed were not part of the convoy of the governor, but that of Mr. Oshomole's kingsmen. Mr. Oshomole said in a statement shortly after the attacks that the tension in the community started last Friday when the deputy governor imported thugs into the community with a view to intimidate his political opponents. It adds that Mr. Oshomole and the other guests were already in the hall when the deputy governor allegedly stormed the university with over 200 commercial motorcycle riders and thugs. According to him, Mr. Shuaibu rode to the event in one of the motorcycles himself and was denied entrance. The statement further adds that after the incident, Iyamo youths barricaded the gate of the national chairman with a view to protecting him against any harm after citing those who allegedly attacked Mr. Oshomole in Benin in the same bus. The APC national chairman, however, expressed his sincere apologies to Governor Obaseki, the Oba of Lagos and the Chancellor over the unfortunate incident. And staying in Edo State, the Nigeria Bar Association is calling for the unconditional release of the appeal court judge, Justice Choma Ihemewosu, who was kidnapped 2 days ago in Benin City in Edo State. The association condemns the kidnap and the brutal killing of her orderly, while asking all security agencies in the country to fish out the perpetrators and bring them to book. NBA President Mr. Paul Soro says that the action should not only unnerve and agitate everyone, but must also jolt our collective consciousness. Mr. Osoro adds that the crime must not end up as part of our crime statistics. He concluded. More stories now. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has pulled down the remaining part of the two-story building that collapsed at Glover Court in the Ikoyi area of Lagos on Friday. 4 other two-story buildings within the court were also pulled down after the reportedly failed integrity tests conducted by Solid Materials Testing Agency and the Fiscal Planning Ministry. The tests were conducted following the rescue of 4 persons and recovery of 1 body in the two-story building that collapsed within the same compound. The Director General of LASEMA, Femi Oke Osoyintolu, says that the decision to pull down the building is to avert any further loss of lives and property.
This is the situation at the site of the collapsed building in Ikoyi, Lagos, a day after it claimed 1 life and left 4 others injured. Here, the officials of the Lagos State Building Agency are carrying out an integrity test on the remaining structures.
This property was actually captured. They had been served, all the statutory notices, and there was break of seal. But we were waiting to carry out all the statutory notices that need to be completed.
With the assessment complete, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency announced that the structure and adjoining buildings will be pulled down to ground zero.
We've brought in all our experts to quickly do holistic investigations on the material they use to do the structural and integrity test for this structure. You can see that this structure is not that quite stable, and we will move it to ground zero. We will reconstruct, we will regenerate this place.
The Commissioner for Urban and Town Planning in Lagos State, Idris Alako, confirms the current situation of those rescued.
4 people were taken out immediately and rushed to the hospital. 3 at the police hospital, Faloma, and 1 was taken to the general hospital. One of the 3 taken to police hospital was referred to the orthopedic hospital. So, but unfortunately, we had it took us some time to get the 5th person out, and when eventually we got that done, we lost him. So it was a very unfortunate situation.
A camera crew, however, visited the police hospital in Faloma area of Ikoyi, but were denied access to the patients without approval from the police authorities.
In part 2, after the break, parents of some persons recently rescued from an illegal rehabilitation center in Lagos asked for the release of their wards and the owner of the facility. Stay with us.